So welcome to the Flipping and Wholesaling Houses in New York show. I'm Michael Pinter, where I teach you how to start flipping or wholesaling houses in New York, or if you're already doing it, how to grow your business. So I got this question a couple of times. How long does it take to start? And this is a weird question because if you go to gurus online, you'll see people say, "Oh, I started wholesaling yesterday. I made $12,000 in 15 minutes." Now, it was so funny. Jason Lewis, I'm a huge fan of Jason Lewis out of Utah, and he showed once when he was speaking at an Investor Fuel event, he was showing Facebook posts from some guy that said, "Hey, I just started doing this," and like 2 weeks later he made some money, and then like a month later he was already teaching people how to do it. It's like he goes from zero to guru in like a month and a half. Here's the truth, right? The time it takes to get started, there's a lot of luck factor. There's a lot of luck involved, right? I know people that their first deal they made money and then they didn't make money like for a long time. I know people that didn't make money for a long time and then started making money. We all think that there's some secret shortcut, like we're going to get that magic list or that magic tool or that magic coach, that magic mentor, some kind of magic pixie dust, and we're going to suddenly start getting deals on a regular basis consistently. Let me tell you something. I've been doing this full-time about 10 years, and I know guys doing it longer and better on a bigger scale than me, and things are still not consistent with their businesses. It takes a lot of work. Now, in New York, everything takes longer. So, ironically, I have a student who just closed a second deal in I think 9 months, and he's going to make about 70 to 80 grand off both those deals. That's really quick, right? Most people I tell in New York when they start, get a list, you skip trace the list, you start calling the list. You got to think in terms of 12 to 18 months before you see any money from it. Now, when I tell people that in other states, they think I'm nuts. But I'm trying to really track, and I'm still working on it. It takes a long time because I'm going to tell you why. My cash conversion cycle. So this is from Gary Harper of Sharper Events. Cash conversion cycle is how much time between when you spend money on marketing and when you get paid. In a lot of places in the country, it's like 3-4 months. In New York, I think my cash conversion cycle is 15 to 16 months. That's a long time. But it's not like nothing's happening, like you spend money and nothing's happening. You're getting leads, you're talking to people, you're getting deals under contract. You just don't get paid for them. It takes the whole real estate process in New York takes a long, long time, right? But then eventually you get a pipeline where things are closing, right? So this month, I could have 5 deals closing this month, right? Which is a good month for me, right? Maybe even 6 on the outset, right? But I'm going away for Passover, so six deals a month is great for me. But like that's the fruits of labor that I did a long time ago. It just takes a long time. Everything takes a long time in New York. People ask me, why does it take so long in New York? I mean, it's a weird confluence of events, right? Attorneys have to be involved. So even when you agree with a seller, when a seller agrees to your price, it can still be a month or 2 before you get into contract. And then deals, everything takes long in New York, right? We all dream that we're going to buy a list and everybody on the list is going to say, I need to close in 24 hours for any price. But that's not what happens. Much more likely is a guy says, I want to sell, but I need time. And he may stay in the house for a long time. I talked about a deal I did in Merrick where I was in contract for, I think, 18 or 19 months on it, right? You know, that's just how it works. And in this case, the seller got terminal cancer, died, and I had to buy it from her estate, but from her kids. But that's not common. But things like that, as crazy as it sounds, things that are going to take a long time are going to be more common than that person who says, I need to close in 2 weeks. I've had those, right? I had somebody in Smithtown. She was being relocated. She had a buyer. Buyer fell through. Needed to get out of there. I bought it cheap. I wholetailed it fast. But that's less common, right? And it's a whole mindset thing. And it took me so long to figure this out. But the way people think about real estate in New York is different than in the rest of the country. And because attorneys are involved, and because they were usually involved in the buy, unless they inherited the house or were given it, but they know it's just a long schlep. So what happens is that people don't think about real estate as a very liquid asset in New York. In most states, they do. Like in California, if you're in a financial pinch, you could sell a house in 2 weeks. You could sell a house in like 2 days. In New York, people think in terms of months. So that affects the messaging, right? So the messaging in 49 states is, hey, I'll close really fast, I'll no cost, blah blah blah. In New York, the messaging that I do is really like, I'll close whenever it works for you. That could be quick, that could be slow, whatever it works. So it takes a long time, right? Because first of all, the marketing takes a long time to start, right? The truth is, when you start, you don't know what the hell you're doing. You don't know how to talk to people. You don't know what a good prospect sounds like, what a good lead is. You don't know that, right? I didn't know that. It takes time to learn that. And then what happens is you get a prospect, a lead, and they're not going to sell right away. They may be ready to sell later, in months. Even somebody who's like really hot to trot, things take time. So his attorney gets involved, takes time. Then you go into contract, and then the closing doesn't take place for a while, right? And then let's say you're closing on it, and you want to wholesale it or you want to rehab it. That whole process takes a long time too, right? The municipalities here are crap. Getting permits here sucks. Takes the longest ever. Contractors here are slow too. Everything here is slow. I mean, it's terrible. Sometimes I look at it and I go, "What the hell am I doing here?" But I like it here. As crazy as it sounds, with all that crap that I just told you and the length of time it takes, the truth is we make more money here on average. I'm getting close to $40,000 average on my wholesale deals, and more than that, obviously, on my wholesales are probably similar, but on rehabs are more. Much less competition here, much less, significantly less. People go, shocked, wow, less competition in New York. Yeah, because no one understands it. They go online, they go to speak to some guru. The guru tells them, you're going to make money in 2 weeks, and then they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Guru says, go get a code enforcement list. Can't get a code enforcement list here. Go get a tax lien list. Almost impossible to get a tax lien list here. So all these things that people see online, they try, and it doesn't work here, right? Or they actually find out some good information, and they try it, and it's a slog. It takes a long time. So less competition here. Sellers cannot get out of contract here. So I love it here. I take the good with the bad. I understand that things are going to take longer. I understand that I have to deal with bullshit that other people don't have to deal with. I understand that. But I take the good with the bad. So, in general, how long does it take? Depends on how much you can do. So, the standard sort of instruction booklet that I give to somebody new is buy a list. So, either on PropStream or Listability, skip trace the list, start calling. Most people have a job. If you don't have a job, call it for 8 hours a day. 8 hours a day should get you one lead a day. If you don't, then it's 2 hours a day, and you'll get a lead a week. And then you got to capture those leads. You have very often, when I say a lead, it's not someone says, I want to sell in 15 minutes. Somebody says, I want to sell, right? And the guy wants to sell. You need to be ready to be there when he really wants to sell, right? He says he wants to sell, but he's thinking about it. You have to give him a price. You got to go see the house. You got to give an idea, make an offer, the whole process. So while you're doing this, right, over the course of a year, that list should last you, by the way, between 6 and 12 months. Let's say maybe 9 months. Maybe you got to refresh the list after 9 months. But you're going to get leads. You're going to hopefully go on appointments. You're hopefully going to make some offers, and those things are eventually turn into deals, right? Mm-hmm. That's the way it is. It's a long process, a long schlep. I don't want to say schlep. A long, arduous process, and you need to stay with it, and you need to capture these leads, and you can you don't need a CRM to pay for a CRM. You can do it just on a Google sheet, but you need to have a system where you're calling these people back, right? These deals are not going to come from the first time you see them. They're going to come from follow-up, right? Because very often you're going to meet a lead. You're going to talk to a prospect. It's going to be a lead, somebody who wants to sell. I define a lead as somebody who has a property in an area I want to buy and who wants to sell. Other people have more narrow definition of leads. But motivation and circumstances change all the time. And you need to be around for that lead when his motivation and circumstances make them decide, now I need to sell right away. That is the story. So there is no good answer for how long it takes, right? One of my students got his first deal 3 months. 3 months, got a check for $30,000. That's amazing. Not common. Most likely takes longer. So I would say you should count on it taking 12 to 18 months to get paid. Takes a long time. Sucks, but that's the way it is. I hope this was helpful. If you're interested in all the ways I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're interested in finding out about one-on-one coaching that I have, go to coaching.howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching on any channel, please click the thumbs up. The likes really help. And what else? Please keep the comments coming. I post 5 times a week. I don't always know what to say. You can ask anything. It does not have to be about the video you're watching. If it's a simple answer, I'll just reply with an answer. If it's something I've covered before, I'll send you links to a video. I just sent somebody a link to a video. He wanted to know how to create an LLC in New York. I sent them a link that I did. And if it's something new, I'll do a new video on it. So thank you very, very much for watching. I really appreciate it.